want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I'll pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds and the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, stay close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm. I bet I can make the thunder clap when I perform. It's just that in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. Hey, I can make time traveling a surprise, make graveyards feel alive, break the immortal down to his demise. I make the moon blue, I'm making pigs fly, now I move mountains. I would've beaten the heart of a crash test dummy, I'm more so astounded. Yeah. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I do the impossible, impossible. Impossible, impossible.
With a December snow blanketing much of the Midwest and Northeast, what a perfect time to be in the Sunshine State as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And off we go from Jacksonville. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Here we go! Throwing quickly, this is caught by Kirk. Calling no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Lawrence to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. The Jaguars had 6 and 7, a game under 500 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, on is Logan Cook to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. On play action, they'll throw. Out to his left. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And how about how he improvised right there, because he got flushed out of the pocket, locked eyes with his wide receiver, who knew to just keep running. And he was able to lay that one out there for him to run under.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Yeah, that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Play fake. Here's Prescott. And this throw will be intercepted. Rayshon Jenkins picks it off. He's at the 50, 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, really a fantastic play, not only to pick that off, but he had to run a long way, Charles, in the direction to hit pay dirt. He did it, and they've got the first lead.
And that certainly changes the early tone of this game, doesn't it, partner? One moment, they were going to be in early control. Now they just have a few moments to clear their heads and get back out there against an electrified defense.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And it's a fumble. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
You remember in preseason when we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah. There, big fumble. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, when I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. Well, this defense for the Jaguars, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, they set the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Prescott to throw on 4th. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And able to find Kirk complete. And he is going to have a Jags 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence to throw. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. First down, Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Rayshon Jenkins picks it off. And the Jaguars are going to take over here up near the 40. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. Room here to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
That turned into a very well-orchestrated play right there. Going to work his way out of the backfield to the right, and after he looked it in, he found plenty of space to roam and picked up big yardage.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9. On play action, Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they have their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Foye Oluokun finding his way to the ball for a stop, a tackle for loss.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Prescott, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Foye Oluokun. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, well, we look at the defense. They came in prepared, had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. They'll run with Etienne. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Patterson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Pollard to return from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is...
And oh, he coughed it up! And the Jags grab it! And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number 1, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Lawrence. He's got his tight end. It's Chris Manhertz. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Christian Kirk with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jaguars have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure, and here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try to mount a comeback.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Prescott to throw it. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Agnew now to return. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Lawrence will throw. He'll get this off to Etienne. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Touchdown, Jaguars! Jamal Agnew, 36 yards. And the Jaguars continue to pull away here in this first half.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Patterson now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with the score where it is, even though I think they'd love to get back to the locker room, they may be forced to try and get something out of this drive. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Andre Sisco. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around. Or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now
the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Devin Lloyd, the one to get home and earn that sack. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Pollard to return from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Off the play fake, Prescott. He finds his target, it's Schultz. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, Down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
Prescott on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Saints back at the 31. That's Foley Fadukasi who got in there and finished off the play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott. And now here is another interception. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, they backfired in a big way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how they get.
And my goodness, another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this run of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Devon Hamilton,
the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Finding space at the 40. Now he's loose at the 40. And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
A first down throw for Prescott. Throwing left side, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. On play action, Prescott. to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
On second and goal, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are able to at least get one score back. Extra point by Marr, up and good. So they do get one score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. And on third down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Now Lawrence. And this will be incomplete. Boy, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that.
Back now in Jacksonville. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Prescott. Complete to Hilton. The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Prescott. And now here is another interception. Rayshawn Jenkins picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Pollard to return from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Prescott off play action. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Prescott yet again. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. 41 yards. And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And it'll end there as he goes out of bounds, but a heck of a return all the way inside the opposite 40.
Forget the idea of flipping the field. They have now put themselves in a position to score points with that big-time return.
On first and 10, it's Etienne.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Etienne once more.
Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
A give, it's Etienne off the option.
And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to fourth down.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
This will be from 49 yards out.
Patterson's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal roll.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Pollard to return from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Throwing, Prescott. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Desperation time. Prescott on fourth, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. On the counter, Etienne. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Running the jet sweep with Ridley. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. They'll try to run with Etienne. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming.
Well, that's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on 1st down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got